What's going on, tone tweakers and guitar nerds? We've got a very special episode today. We're taking a look at the brand new UA Enigmatic amp modeler. So let's take a look. All right, Micah, so I'm actually really excited about this demo. I've seen you play through some UA stuff before, and every UA pedal I've heard you use sounds pretty great. Before we even get to this stuff, let's just talk about the amp model journey, right? Okay. So we were working with tube amps. From tube amps, we went to our first amp modeler, the Strymon Iridium, which at the time was just like super popular, super kind of cutting edge. And then eventually you made the jump from the Iridium to the UA pedals. You had the Dream, you had the Ruby, and now the Enigmatic. So tell me about that jump from the Iridium to these types of pedals. What kind of drew you towards them?
Yeah, well, first off, I mean, the Iridium still holds up. That is still a really great pedal. Yeah, and I still hear a lot of guys playing those, and they make them sound great. I think for me, what made me decide to jump into the UA pedals specifically, and I did the Ruby first, was I like the way they feel. To me, and it's, again, this is all subjective, but to me, it just felt like more like I was playing a real amp. You know, there's like that. I think some people call it sag. It's just like there's this like the way a tube amp compresses when you kind of dig in, that kind of thing, just felt more lifelike to me. So
yeah, and I've kind of heard that too, pretty much from every person that I've talked to about the UA pedals, every review that I've seen online. It kind of, people refer to it as the most amp in the room type sound.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think, so that was the thing for me. That's what like really got me digging the UA pedals. And I did have the Ruby first, and I was like, this is so great. I'm going to get a Dream too, because then I'll have a Fender and a Vox. You know, I'm going to have like the whole setup. And so I got the Dream. It was nice too. I didn't like it as much. And I think it just, what it comes down to is I'm just more of a Vox guy than I am a Fender guy.
Yeah, it wasn't even in terms of like how well the pedal was made.
Yeah.
Both sound like the amps they were intended to.
Yes.
You just prefer the sound of a Vox. And same kind of, you let me borrow the Dream for a little bit, and I was like, this does sound like a Fender amp. But for the kind of style we're doing and the pedals we're using and stuff, I was like, I do love the kind of chime of a Vox. So, sweet.
Yep. So yeah, that brought me to what we're going to demo today, the Enigmatic.
So Micah, tell me about these two pedals. You've had the Ruby for a little while. The Enigmatic just came out. You've had it on your board, a couple weeks or something?
2 weeks,
2 weeks, yeah. So tell me, first off, what kind of amps are these seeking to model, and like, what are your first kind of experiences between the two?
Yeah, so the Ruby is a 63 Vox AC30. I think there's a couple of different amps that they use, but for the Brilliant channel, which is, I think, the one probably, I don't know, 90% of people use. I could be wrong on that. Like, feel free to come at me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I feel like the Brilliant channel is like, that's like the Vox chimey sound.
Yeah.
So it's a 63 Vox AC30 they based that on. And, you know, they got some different speaker combinations. I mean, all the UA pedals have like some different speaker combinations, some different voicings you can do, and so on. But that's generally the idea with the Ruby. The Enigmatic is the newest offering from UA.
Okay.
And this one is based on, it's called the 82 Enigmatic, or 82 Overdrive Special Amp, excuse me. It's based on a Dumble amp. And I don't know if we can say Dumble. Can we say Dumble legally? I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like everybody else is saying it. Let's go for it.
Okay. So yeah, the Enigmatic is based on, it's not just, kind of like the Ruby, it's not based on just one Dumble amp. It's based on, they got access to multiple of these overdrive specials, and kind of found out what makes it, you know, what it is. And so like the result of that research and development is the pedal you're looking at here, this beautiful Werther's Original Butterscotch Orange.
This one is probably, out of all of them so far, this is probably, I feel like, one of the most attractive ones.
It looks nice. Yeah. So that is what that one is based on, and we'll talk a little bit more about the features as we go along and what makes a Dumble amp so interesting. Why are they so so like sought after and so legendary, and there's a couple reasons for that. Let's talk a little bit about the features on this pedal. One of the things I love about it, and one of the things that's kind of reputedly so great about Dumbles, is their tweakability. And so this pedal is designed with that in mind. In fact, one of the things about Dumble that was really interesting is that when he built an amp, and he only built about 300 of these things, he would go and listen to the artist that was playing and make tweaks on the amp as they were playing, and really custom, build a custom circuit based on that specific person's style of playing. And so what UA did, which is really cool, is basically they just created it where it has all these different tweaks that Dumble would use when he was building the pedal. So you can basically build it and customize it to your playing, which is really cool. So how does that interface with the user? So first off, on the face of the pedal, you have some tweakability there. You have volume, you have overdrive, master output, bass, mid, treble, a lot of the similar things you're going to find on any amp modeler. There's also some alt options on there as well, and we won't get too far into that because there's a lot of great demos out there already on this pedal. Brian Wall and Bradford Mitchell, the Worship Tutorials guys, have some really great rundowns of it. Buddy Blues has a really great video. Mark Johnston. I mean, there's a lot of guys who have covered this pedal in pretty great detail. So if you want to deep dive the features of it, I would recommend going to those guys. Yeah, that's not what we're going to be doing today.
We just want to see how it sounds and how it sounds against something that you might already
that we're familiar with. Yeah. One other note on the tweakability is, unlike the previous amps or the previous UA products where you could probably get by without using the app, the UAFX app, you really, if you want to get the most out of this pedal, you got to get the app. So you got to bite the bullet. You got to do it. There's a lot of functions that you can or a lot of tones and different effects and circuit pieces that you can tweak only through the app. You can't do it on the face of the pedal at all. So. And
is that I assume that's just like free with the purchase of the pedals?
Yes.
Not like an extra buy-in or
nope,
anything?
Not an extra buy-in. Okay. It's just a matter, you got to just pair the pedal. And this is all the UA pedals. You got to pair the pedal via Bluetooth to your phone, the app's on your phone. And then once you do that and register your pedal, you also get extra speaker cabs as well. Oh,
that's cool. And can you save presets, like your own presets?
Yes,
or is
you can.
Only
So yes, you can. There's only one preset that you can recall on the face of the pedal. But every time, and this is all the UA amp in the boxes as well, whenever you flip this middle switch down, hold it down for a second, it saves that preset in your library. So it'll save it to your preset button. So your most recent preset you saved is going to be recalled on the button. But all of the presets you ever saved are going to be on the app. So you can just go to your presets and find it and save them, add them to your favorites, whatever you want to do. So it's all in the app. So that's been around for the other pedals, but like I said, a lot of the tweakability, a lot of the functionality that makes this pedal so much fun.
It's going to matter a little bit more with this.
It's only accessible in the app.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. So the next question you guys might be wondering is, why these two pedals? Why are we putting a AC30 and a Dumble kind of in a comparison against each other? What's kind of the rationale behind that?
Yeah, I think probably a lot of people are in the same boat that I'm in and you're in. Yep. It's like, what does a Dumble sound like? I've never played a Dumble.
Never played one either.
I mean, you could watch a Tim Pierce demo on YouTube, but I mean, that guy sounds great through everything, you know. So
I ain't got Dumble money.
You know? Yeah, ain't nobody got Dumble money. Nobody I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my thought process is, well, what does this pedal sound like compared to something that we do know, we are familiar with the sound. It's basically a frame of reference for. Okay, we're gonna we're gonna hear the Ruby, we're gonna hear the Enigmatic. What is the difference? What's going on there different?
How does it stack up? Is it warmer? Is it brighter? You know.
That's right. Yeah. So that's the data we're trying to get out there. Yeah. We're trying to get the information out there to you, the people.
Let's find out.
I got it on the rock setting, and we'll probably flip to the jazz setting as we go along here too. Okay. Nice and clean. What happens when you dig in?
What about some open chords.
Okay, so it's breaking up a little bit there.
And this is the neck pickup, by the way.
Yep.
As a reference.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay. Let's add a little bit more. Let's get a little dirtier here.
There, I had a little bit of low end there. That's nice.
One of the things I like about the EQ is it's very responsive. Like I'm going to bring the bass down just a little bit. I mean, it's
oh wow!
You don't have to work very hard.
Yeah, pretty good amount.
I do find with this, it seems like for most settings you do need to bring the treble down below noon.
Okay.
Or else it can get a little bit harsh. Keep going. Okay.
Now, can I hear that against the Ruby?
Yeah,
just
absolutely. So keep playing, and we'll just switch back and
I'll
forth.
kind of just do some basic open chords.
So I know how it sounds. How does it feel? Does it feel different as far as...
Now, let me hear the other one. It's funny, the AC30 feels familiar, but the Enigmatic feels kind of just like bigger. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I don't know if it's just the gain situation, whatever.
Yeah, it could be. Let's keep
even it out. Keep it going.
Yep. Because I got the Enigmatic gained up. So let's go back to the Enigmatic. Bring that down a little bit. We need a little more low end in the Enigmatic. Ruby does sound good, man. That's a nice
classic.
Yep.
Classic.
All right, let's go back.
What
to
if I switch to the bridge? Let's hear a little bit of that.
Let me go different bright switch here.
Okay.
Bright cap on the
So
Enigmatic.
what do you mean by bright switch, bright cap? What does that kind of do?
So there's different caps that, and I'm not like an electrician or anything, but from my understanding, there's different caps that they use in amplifiers, and that impacts the brightness. So like this is like 3 different caps you can use, or like you can just disengage that circuit completely. So like this would be no bright cap. So you can hear
I like that.
Yeah. So that's nothing. Then you can go up to, this is the first bright cap, kind of first level of brightness, if you will. Okay, and then this is the next one. Yep. And this is the last level here.
Let's go back down, but with some single notes.
Okay. It's pretty bright. Yeah.
And let's hear something else. Also, I'm like using the
bridge.
The bridge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try no bright cap again.
I think so far that one's my favorite.
Yeah, so keep playing on that. Cap. I'm going to roll the treble up a little bit.
Especially with some single coils.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting into... Yeah. I like that.
Yes. So this is interesting. So I have not played a single coil guitar through this pedal yet. So everything I've been tweaking on this thing was for either my Les Paul or my Falcon. So this is really interesting, like seeing how
it reacts, some uncharted territory.
So you can't just flip it to a different guitar, and like that could be a problem.
Yep.
Potentially, but I mean, now granted, you do have a preset and you have your live setting, so you could potentially
just go back and forth. But
interesting. Let's keep going.
Keep going.
Okay, let's switch back to the Ruby. Actually, now that we've made some tweaks on the Enigmatic.
Yeah, I'm liking that sound.
Okay,
let's kind of go back and see what we got.
Let's go back. Okay, so let's talk real quick about what I feel is one of the secret weapons of both of these pedals, and that is the room knob.
I was just about to ask about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So to access these, you have the middle knob or the middle switch on the pedals. You flip it up to the alt setting, and the room setting on the Enigmatic is on the volume knob. On the Ruby, it's on the bass knob. So we'll try the Enigmatic here, and let's just start with room all the way down.
Starting at 0. Here we go. Woo! Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Well, all right. Don't get distracted.
I'm sorry. I got excited.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Let's go. 12 o'clock.
Can I hear back at 0 real quick? Back to 12 o'clock.
Okay. Let's go all the way up so you can really hear what it's doing.
Yep.
You hear that? That's nice. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, I like what it does to it. I think it's sitting here in the room listening to it through the monitors. It's not as pronounced. But I think the magic is really when if you're running ears, it just gives it like some depth.
Even here, it feels. I kind of like that. It's again. I don't want it to be a reverb. I just want the space to react a little differently.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm getting that in a more real world scenario than I did like with the Iridium.
Yeah, it's very natural and it's very musical. I like it. Yeah. So anyway, that's the room situation.
You want to try out the Ruby?
Yeah, let's go. Goes? Yeah, let's try the Ruby room here. Okay. So go ahead. Let's go 0.
0. It just feels like home.
Yeah.
The AC30. Okay.
All the way.
See, I hear it a little bit more. All right, let's go back.
Okay. And I typically run these anywhere from like 12 o'clock to like 2 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm not cranking it all the way up, but I do like to at least get, like you just hear that little bit of tail on it, you know?
Is it weird that I really like them both almost at 0?
No, I mean...
I feel like I just like that dry...
Yeah. I don't think that's weird at all. Like I said, I think it's more pronounced if you're using in-ears.
Yeah. I almost like... Because I'm even when I was using a tube amp, I really like kind of the ISO box feel. You know, you take your amp, put it in a box with like all the foam and stuff, so that way you don't get any of the room.
It's a blank slate.
Yeah, just a blank slate. But I do like that. That's such a subtle feature, but adds so much depth to it.
And it's really well done.
Yeah, it's really well
done. So very cool. So anyway, let's change gears a little bit here.
Okay.
It's time to get dirty, Ruben. Let's get dirty with it. Let's
do it.
let's try it with some drive pedals in front of it here. So we'll give us that. We'll start with Enigmatic clean.
Okay. Let me go bridge pickup now.
Okay. I like that. So a little bit of dirt in there. Let's throw on So we'll put on the Euphoria first. So it's kind of a transparent Dumble kind of drive. Dumble into Dumble.
Dumble.
It's Inception. Gotcha. Okay, it's got some nice sustain there. Yeah.
What about if I do a little bit? It's a nice even sound to it.
Yeah. Okay. Keep playing. I'm gonna switch. So right now I'm on the open setting on the Euphoria. I'm gonna go to the smooth setting. What are we thinking? I don't know.
I like that. Yeah.
You like that better than the open?
Let me hear the.
Let's just dime out the gain here.
Again. I need some stuff to compare it to. This is uncharted territory for me.
Yeah. Okay.
What about,
let's try it on the Ruby.
So
let's go Ruby here. See, here's the thing. Before I even put on a drive pedal, it just doesn't break up the same.
It doesn't. It's very different.
Yeah.
let's just double check that real quick.
Okay, yeah. There's just something there.
It feels like Vox, and this is a word that's typically used on Vox, it definitely has a chime to it. Whereas the Dumble kind of has it rhymes, a rumble. It's got a kind of a little, the Dumble has a little rumble in it. Rumble. The Vox got the chime.
Yeah.
In the way it breaks up.
Let's keep going with the Ruby. I'm going to add some dirt to the Ruby just to see, because I feel like the Enigmatic. We're still getting some dirt there. It's just thinner. I think there's just like a thinness to it. Yeah. Not in like a brittle kind of,
not in a bad
wimpy way. It's just not as, it doesn't have the rumble as you say like that. Okay, so anyway,
let's keep going.
Yeah, let's put the Euphoria in front of the Ruby now. So and back to the Enigmatic. Okay.
Let me hear it one more time.
I do feel like I'm kind of liking that on the Ruby a little bit better.
I do like it on the Ruby a little bit more.
Let's go back here.
Back to the Ruby. Let me try it one more.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I'm digging that on the Ruby better. And I think I haven't figured out my drive situation with the Enigmatic yet. Yeah. I talked about that the other day, but it is causing me to rethink my drive section. So this may not even look differently. Yeah, this may not even look the same the longer I play with it. All right, well let's try a tube screamer kind of sound. So we'll start with the Ruby first this time. Okay, let's go clean.
Let me get a little more gain just to really.
Let me switch.
Yeah.
Okay. And then clean again. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go Enigmatic now. Clean. Okay.
See, that I like with the tube screamer.
Yep.
Because the tube screamer has a little bit less low end and a little more mid, so even the drive situation just reacts differently. Let me hear the Ruby one more time at that same setting. Back to the... I almost feel like I like the rhythm stuff, the chords, with the Dumble.
Let me try one thing real quick here. Hit it again. Ooh, no, that's too
bright.
thin.
That's
too
bright.
thin. I was just curious what the bright cap was going to do.
But that does go back to what you're saying. It's like there is a lot of tweakability. So there is a lot of ways that you can dial in something pretty gnarly. So that might be worth mentioning to maybe if you're new to just EQs and tone world. Maybe it's like too many options can be kind of a bad thing if you don't know how to use it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's a tube screamer. Let's try. So the Octonaut. This is. Let me just pause for a moment and just say how much I love this pedal.
That is great.
Yeah. We have a great relationship with the guys at Interstellar. They got some really, really rad stuff. So if you guys haven't checked that out already, check it out. But anyway, this is our Octonaut. This is, you see a lot of things going around as a clone. So that'll play the role of our clone
for right now.
For the purposes of today,
not
but
quite
it's more
a clone,
than that. I feel like.
Yeah.
But let's I have the drive way up right now. So let's hear the Enigmatic first. Okay.
Let's bring the brightness down just a little bit, but I like where it's going.
Yep.
A little too much. Let me hear it.
Okay. Okay. Let me bring the drive. Let's bring the drive down.
Let's bring the drive down. There we go.
9 o'clock.
Yeah. That feels more.
Okay. All right. Let's try the Ruby here. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we did this because they react so differently. to these pedals.
They do, yeah. The Ruby almost sounded a little bit less bright on this pedal than the Enigmatic did.
Let's hear the next one. Yeah.
Okay, I did bring the presence down a little bit on the Enigmatic.
Oh, that helped.
So that did help maintain those highs a little bit.
Can we reestablish what that clean tone sounds like then? And now with this.
That's it, yeah.
Let's gain it up just a smidgen because I do like some dirt.
Like 11 o'clock here.
Ooh. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the Ruby. Let's see Ruby.
I kind of like the Enigmatic better. I
think it's the same. It almost gives more of like a classic rock situation. Yep. What if I switch to the neck?
I do like that Ruby on the neck.
Really? I still go Enigmatic.
Do you?
It feels a little fuller to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's switch it.
Yeah, I think the more I'm listening to it, I do like the fullness of the Enigmatic a little more.
They're pretty close, but I think the Enigmatic.
The nice thing about this one, and part of the thing on the amp that you can tweak is like the power section. So you can do like a 50 watt and 3 different variations of 100 watt. So
wow.
I've ended up leaning toward like the 100 watt very stiff is what it's called.
Wow. Okay.
And I like it because the bottom end stays together.
That's actually a really cool feature. That's not even something I would have think like just the wattage of the amps that it's modeling.
Yeah, a lot of headroom.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that you don't get that compression from the power
like a smaller,
Yeah, so the low end, like I said, it just stays together, which I really like.
That's cool. Man, so 2 very different amps. Very different. I've never played on a Dumble before, but now I kind of feel like I did a little bit. You know?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Right. I mean, if it's as close to the AC30 as the Ruby, from what I've known it to be.
Yeah.
Very different. I don't know what your thoughts are, but for me, the Dumble sticks out, and the Enigmatic sticks out as a warmer amp. And although it can get super bright if we're not careful with the presence or the treble cap.
Yeah. So, and that just kind of highlights what I said at the top. Like it's super tweakable. Like you can get a whole range of sounds out of it in a couple of different ways that we messed with the high end because, with your single coil guitar, trying to adjust from the settings that I had for my humbuckers, we adjusted the presence, which is sweepable, and then we also tried a few different bright caps, and we ended up going with a single coil, bright caps completely off. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, a few different ways you can come with some high end. But I see what you're saying about it being warmer. Yeah. The AC30, the Ruby, just does that Vox thing that we all kind of grown to love, That
chime. Yeah. I definitely feel the chime from the Ruby that I would expect out of a Vox. And then the rumble from the Dumble, man, when we hit the bridge pickup and added some drives and stuff. Yeah. If I had to overly simplify it, the Dumble style pedal feels thicker, and the Vox style feels thinner, but not in a bad way, but in a chimey way. Yeah. So it just depends. I think for the style that I tend to gravitate towards, John Mayer tone is definitely one that I love. I love that like Strat style, stuff. I think I'd probably lean a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like with the Enigmatic, especially like with with some of the John Mayer stuff you're talking about, it's like the sound that I've always wanted to get out of the Fender amp, right? But never could quite
get it. I'm like, oh, this is the sound. That's exactly what I was thinking.
That is the sound.
I'm like, oh, we found it.
It has its cool own little space. It's not a Vox. It doesn't. The Vox. There were things about the Ruby. I use the words Ruby and Vox interchangeably, but there are things about the Ruby that I was like, oh yeah, like you kept saying, oh, this is comfortable, this feels comfortable. Like there is something about that, like, oh yes, this just feels right. But then I feel like in most of the situations you went to the Dumble, I was like, oh, but there's something there that I like a little bit better. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think part of it is it's a little more, it's got a little more body to it. I think I like the way that it breaks, dynamically the way it breaks up. You know, like you can clean it up really easy just with your picking dynamics. You can also dig in and just get a little bit dirtier. And I feel like I was missing that from the Vox. It just didn't quite do it on the same with the same level of nuance that the Dumble did. So
and kind of getting back to just the pedals themselves, not just the style of amp that they're modeling. The fact that with the Enigmatic you can change like the wattage to give it more headroom. You can do like 100-watt amp versus like 50. That is so cool. Like such a cool feature, and it makes such a huge difference in its ability to like take headroom and stuff like that. And so that versus the AC30 style, which is the Ruby, it only does the AC30. You know, so it's cool that you can get completely different amps, small amp, big amp, all out of the same pedal.
You can definitely get a lot of different sounds in there where you can almost get lost, you know, with the tinkering, you know.
That was the other thing. Tweaker's delight. Beginner or maybe new to tone tweaking, not so much maybe.
Well, I will say too on that same, and this is my last thought on it. If you're the kind of person that likes an amp where you just plug it in and it's simple, you got, you know, like with the Ruby, you have your bass and your treble, you have your cut, then you have your volume and your master. Then the Enigmatic may not be your cup of tea. Because there's a lot. It's just there's a lot of tweaking that goes on. Some of us love that, some of us not so much. Great pedals. So that's what we got. That's the Enigmatic. That's the Ruby. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Help us out. Like and subscribe if you like this content. Hit the bell, and you know what? Leave us a comment. Like, what are your thoughts? Have you played these pedals? Has anyone out there played an actual Dumble?
Yeah, you got crazy money.
or friends in high places. We want to hear about that too. So would love to see see some thoughts in the comments. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.